Welcome to the Jabbedu Education Podcast trailer. You're listening to the Jabbedu Education Podcast. I'm your host, John Ruths, and I'm going to introduce you to some of the leading professionals in the fields of education, psychology, and leadership to bring you the most relevant and up-to-date tips, tricks, and tools for you to use in your classroom. Welcome to Jabbedu. Hello, teachers and educators, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Jabbedu Education Podcast. I am your host, John Ruths. I am in my 5th year of teaching, and in my short career, I have noticed a significant gap between the research being done in the field of education and the implementation of that research in the classroom and the overall school structure. You know, if you look at the process for completing scientific research, a single study could take months and sometimes even years to complete. At minimum, it's probably another couple months to a year to edit and then publish the findings. And even if they get condensed down to a research journal article, that's just not where teachers are consuming the information. You know, if it is not disseminated by their administrator, most teachers probably are not caught up on the latest research unless they attend a clinic or conference. So if and when that research is presented at a clinic or conference, in my experience, sometimes it can just be really hard to translate how that information applies to classroom life. So in reality, it might take even another couple years before somebody decides to include that data in a training exercise that is truly beneficial for teachers. So if you look at that whole process, there is a lot of time lost between when the data is collected and then when it gets turned into some sort of useful training. And that's why this podcast was born. You know, I decided why not go directly to the source and interview the people who are doing the research. So I am really excited about what's going to be coming your way with this podcast. We are going to be interviewing some of the leading professors and researchers in the fields of education, psychology, leadership, and really anything else that will bring value to you, the teacher. We will dive deep on some strategies that aren't just the next big trend in education, but are truly backed and supported by the research. We have some guests lined up to talk about topics like what is the psychology behind motivation and how do we help our students stay motivated? What are some of the new technologies available to us and how can we implement them effectively? And what causes teacher burnout and exhaustion, and how can we prevent it? And so much more. My number one goal is to provide you with 1 or 2 nuggets each episode that you can begin to implement in your daily life and your classroom. And hopefully over time, you will begin to see some positive changes take place that will benefit hundreds of students for years to come. So if any of that resonates with you at all, please hit that subscribe button and join us for the time being every other Monday as we discuss some of the latest findings in the world of education. We will talk to you soon.